Interior cockpit. Furman is grinning. That's bad. Doyle into microphone. Here comes the sexy part. Interior passenger compartment. Rambo, sitting impassively, removes his blindfold. The plane begins to pitch and plummet wildly. Brewer sets out a rebel yeah. Brewer. Woo-hoo! I love it. Exterior Peregrine, moving with it as it slices through twisting canyons like a knife. It slithers between the mountainous flanks. Interior passenger compartment. Rambo is methodically checking his pack and harness, seeming obvious to the insanity outside. Or seemingly oblivious to the insanity outside. Doyle, voiceover, filtered. We just entered Viet airspace, gentlemen. 8 clicks to insertion. Rambo to Brewer via headset. Stay tight on me, Brewer. I don't want to have to go looking for you. Brewer, check. Interior MTOC technician turns from the secondary console. Technician, AWACS Niner, 1 via sub bay, reports them approaching insertion 5x5. Exterior Peregrine, D-2 minutes. D-2 minutes. The mountains fall behind, and the tiny jet hurtles down across the foothills, flying nap of the earth. Interior passenger compartment. Rambo slips his free fall goggles into place. Doyle voiceover filtered. Stand by to climb. Exterior trail, Vietnam. A Vietnamese farmer trudges down the road with 2 heavy buckets on a pole carry across his shoulders. A distant whining becomes an approaching roar, like a thunderbolt. The black jet flashes over the top of the hill just ahead, 30 feet off the deck. The farmer is tumbled by the blast of the air. He looks up. The jet has gone into a ball-busting vertical climb and is instantly lost among the stars. Farmer in Vietnamese subtitles. Son of a bitch! Interior passenger compartment. Doyle's face is matter-of-fact despite the G's they are pulling. Doyle. Approaching 10,000. 11 seconds to insertion. 10, 9, slowing to 230. The ready light changes from red to yellow. Rambo unbuckles from his seat, rises. Brewer follows him. Lifer steadies them at the door. Doyle continuing. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Have a nice day. The ready light turns green. Lifer shouts, go! Rambo takes a single powerful running stride from the opposite wall and is out the door. Gone. Brewer is right behind him. Exterior Peregrine. The jet dwindles and is gone in a moment above the tumbling figures. On Rambo stabilizing his fall, he switches to on his back strobe. I'm guessing he has a light on his back. Back strobe light. Rambo shouting into mic. You read me, Brewer? Brewer, voiceover faint. Read you. Rambo. Hold on my strobe. Hold on my strobe. On Brewer. Diving skillfully, he sees the distant flash of Rambo's strobe below him and banks toward it like a fighter plane. He comes along the team leader and they dive together. Rambo cuts the strobe. Angle down as a solid layer of cloud rushes up. They plunge through, and the landscape below is an awesome vista, an unbroken carpet of dark rainforest with a narrow, meandering river, like a platinum ribbon. Rambo sights on a distant bend in the river, spreads his feet and dives. Brewer follows. They shoot across uprushing landscape at 135 miles per hour. Insert Rambo's LED altimeter. Numbers flickering. 1,200 feet, 1,000 feet, 800 feet. Rambo signals. Their canopies deploy with a muffled crack simultaneously. Rambo, POV shot, looking out of Rambo's eyes now. Looking down past his swaying feet as the moonlight jungle rushes up and up. A mahogany tree lunges like a huge hand. The dark maw swallows us in blackness. Exterior rainforest. Moonlight filters down through the foliage of massive trees, showing as shafts in the swirling night mists. This is one of the most primeval forests on the planet, a place of violent growth and death-filled shadows. Massive tree roots grip the earth, entwined with vines that climb, swaying into the vaulted canopy above. Water drips constantly, and life is everywhere, furtive, timeless, churning in the shallow pools, under the bark, in the sweating fruit, leaping through the matted foliage above. A figure rises behind a rotting log, like a being from interstellar space. Rambo removes his goggles and headset, then shrugs of his chute harness. He looks around slowly, taking it in. Rambo saying to himself, "Man, what are you doing back here?" Brewer's voice is the reedy chirp from his headset. He raises it to his ear. Rambo replies, "You okay?" Brewer, voiceover, "Keep it down, man. I got problems." Cut to exterior rainforest barnyard. Brewer is face to face with a mangy pig, which grunts in annoyance. He is stuck up to his knees in the mud of a small fenced yard containing a few pigs and chickens. The yard is adjacent to a large thatch hut, and 4 or 5 additional hooches are visible during downslope nestle among the trees. Brewer holds a finger to his lips, cautioning the pig to silence. Like the pig is going to know what that means. He lays backward in the black slop as a Vietnamese man in peasant pajamas comes to the door of the nearest hooch, an island of light in the dark forest. Smoking a cigarette, he looks around, perhaps scanning from the source of faint crashing he heard a moment before. Following a dirt road, little more than a trail between the hooches, an old woman approaches. She is barefoot and pushes a rusting bicycle laden with an enormous handle of firewood. Brewer shrugs himself free. Straining in silence, the pig steps disdainfully around him. The man flicks away the cigarette. He laughs raucously at something the old woman says and hurries to help her carry the firewood inside. Brewer looks up as his chute blowing quietly in the branches overhead. The woman pauses at the door, spits a shot of benevolent juice into the yard, and goes inside. The door bangs shut. Tight on Brewer, sighing with relief. Suddenly a dark object shoots into frame, seizing him. Brewer's head snaps around. The object is Rambo's hand, painted in green camo. Rambo drags him with a sucking pop from the mud. The team leader glares. Rambo says to him in freezing whisper, "That's one." And I like that. That's one. I love the that's one, that's two, that's three. But in freezing whisper, that's one. That's one time you fucked up. Brewer pauses a moment, assimilating the implicate warning, then reaches for his harness buckle to free himself. Cut to exterior rainforest trail. With the hooches visible, BG background, I suppose that's what it means, Rambo moves silently off along the trail. Brewer, lumbering under the enormous pack, crashes through foliage to catch up. He curses under his breath. Rambo moves wraith-like through the undergrowth, appearing and vanishing there, not then there, then not there. Brewer stumbles over a root, thuds to the ground. Rambo stops. Looking back, his expression is grim. He turns and moves on, disappearing into the foliage. Brewer scrambles up, following. Exterior rainforest clearing. Tight on the Transat screen as the last letters of the following message appear. Slam dunk field TM2S slam dunk. Control report insertion completed. Proceeding to rendezvous. End message. Wider, revealing Brewer hunched over a tiny CRT screen atop the transporter box, typing at a keyboard the size of a pocket calculator. Rambo squats motionless, watching intently. Brewer hits the send button. Cut to interior command shack. The chief telecom tech turns to Kirkhill. Tech says, "It's coming in." Kirkhill watches the message print out on the main screen, turns to Troutman. "They're in. On the money." A cheer goes up in the command center. The home team just scored. Exterior, rainforest, clearing. Rambo squats, studying his waterproof terrain map. He glances at Brewer, who has finished assembling his weapons and gear. Reverse on Brewer. Looking like a Martian stormtrooper with his exotic weapons and surplus equipment. He is sighting through the scope of his assault rifle. Fully assembled, it is as big as a Chrysler and looks straight at a Star Wars. Rambo says, "What do you call that?" Brewer replies crisply, "Modified M16A2, an over-under M79 grenade launcher, with psionic sound suppressor, tractor starlight scope, and LAC-R 100 laser sighting system." Rambo replies, "Batteries not included." Brewer, wounded, "This is state-of-the-art firepower, man." Rambo picks up another device, a cylinder like a flashlight with a curly cord running to a pair of earphones. Rambo says, "What's this?" Brewer replies, "AC system big ear telescopic mic with built-in audio processor. Can pull a whisper out of a cocktail party at 50 meters. Rambo gazes around him. "Cocktail party. Uh-huh. Right. Pause. Let's saddle up." Brewer replies, "Where's your stuff?" Rambo flips open his rucksack. Brewer, incredulous, "That's it? Some C4, a map, and a knife?" Rambo replies, "There's a compass in the handle." Brewer gestures at the Russian-made AK-47 slung over Rambo's shoulder. Brewer replies, "And a beat-to-shit AK. Every 12-year-old in Nam's got one of those." Rambo replies, "Exactly." Brewer hefts the separate rucksack containing the Transat. Brewer starts up again. This thing's pretty heavy. You got room for it?" Rambo snorts disgustedly. Brewer replies, "Just a thought." Exterior rainforest. Using a stream bed to navigate through dense growth, Rambo glides his legs smoothly through knee-deep, brackish waters. Brewer follows, swatting and battling at clouds of mosquitoes. A viper glides past them, roiling the surface, and disappears into twisted tree roots. Brewer says, "You want to know why I stood up for this show?" Rambo, moving off, replies, "No." Brewer continues anyway. "I was in the brig. They gave me a deal. I blew up this colonel's golf cart with an M19. He wasn't in it or anything. It was the symbolic value. Seemed like a good idea at the time." Rambo replies, "That's a real reason to wind up in Nam. That's a real good reason to wind up in Nam." Brewer replies, "I've seen worse places." Rambo replies, "There are no worse places."